The Ministry of Sovereign Intelligence, Agent 26, Sterling Vane. Real science, real stakes.
Vane, he's moving. The ship is moving. I show 3. No 4 Flettner rotors spinning at full rated RPM, 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise. He's gone silent drive, and between the carbon composite rotors and the sea clutter, the radar return is, I'm getting nothing. He's a ghost. He is a bloody ghost on open water.
Navigation track is lost. All coastal monitoring stations report acoustic null. The admiral has gone completely dark.
Sterling, abort. We abort. There is no approach vector. The rotor wake is wrecking ballistic predictions. Coast Guard fired a ranging shot 20 minutes ago, and turbulent crosswind shear pushed it wide by 60 meters. 60. We cannot hit that ship.
No one said anything about hitting it, Cooper.
Then what exactly are you doing standing on top of a cliff at 3 in the morning with a base rig?
Geometry. The Magnus Effect does not hide a ship. It hides everything except itself. And a field with a center has, by definition, a line through it. He steps to the absolute edge. Rocks crumble. The rotor thrum is directly below the vessel moving through the inky channel.
Vane.
Physics doesn't care about the Admiral's confidence, Sloan. Only about his geometry. 14 hours earlier, London.
It worked perfectly in the car park.
It worked in the car park because the car park scanner was last updated in 2019 and will accept a firm handshake. This one will not.
My biometric profiles sync to the Ministry cloud at 0900 Sloan. The system should...
The system should what? Trust the man who reformatted the tactical mainframe because he thought it needed a personality update.
That was a firmware patch.
It gave the mainframe a name. We called it Gerald for 6 weeks.
You don't even have a wearable.
I have a thumb.
You were in Lisbon.
Briefly. The job in the Algarve ran long.
Was anyone hurt?
Only structurally.
Then you have approximately 4 minutes to eat something that isn't a pastry before. The Dean calls you a war criminal. The briefing is already live.
3 weeks ago, Admiral Reyes Kane, formerly of the Iberian Joint Naval Command, currently wanted by Interpol, The Hague, and 3 separate insurance underwriters, took delivery of a vessel retrofit at a dry dock outside Setúbal. What he took delivery of is why you are in this room.
Are those... chimneys?
Flettner rotors.
Flettner, like the ship that doesn't need an engine?
It needs an engine to spin the rotors. It does not need its main engine to move through the water. In the right wind, the rotors do that.
Reyes Kane has retrofitted a mid-range transport vessel with 4 Flettner cylinders, each approximately 20 meters tall, spinning at up to 200 revolutions per minute. At current Atlantic wind conditions around the Azores, gusting to 45 knots, sustained around 30, the Magnus Effect generates enough lateral thrust to drive the vessel at operational speed without her main engine. No combustion signature and significantly reduced propulsion noise compared to conventional engines. He moves with the weather.
Is ferrying a cargo of man-portable surface-to-air systems acquired from a collapsed Eastern European stockpile to a buyer consortium operating out of the Canaries. Once those weapons are transferred, they disperse into 3 continents within 72 hours. We intercept Kane's vessel, or we lose the cargo and the chain permanently.
So we scramble a naval asset. Frigate, helicopter.
Every asset we can field relies on radar, sonar, or thermal. None of them can find what they cannot detect. Kane's vessel has no engine heat plume, significantly reduced acoustic signature, and no radar cross-section in the sea clutter around those islands. He is functionally invisible.
Not to the wind. A Flettner rotor generates thrust by interacting with the wind. That interaction is not silent. The rotating cylinder creates a pressure differential, high pressure on one side, low on the other, and that differential leaves a shadow. A wind shadow. A turbulent wake. A region of measurably disrupted airflow and pressure variance, extending downwind of the rotors. Instruments sensitive enough to detect pressure gradients in the local wind field at range can triangulate the source,
You can find him by reading the disruption he causes in the air.
The ship is invisible. The physics of the ship are not.
Okay, great. We find him. Then what? Because I pulled the Coast Guard incident report. They fired a test round at a derelict at range in similar rotor conditions. Lateral deviation of 60 plus meters. Incoming trajectories become unpredictable crosswind gradients, and rotor wake turbulence bend paths off their expected line. It's like aiming through moving air.
Not a wall. A field and a directional one. The Magnus force is always perpendicular to both the velocity of the airflow and the axis of the rotor's spin. Tonight, with the wind coming off the Atlantic from the west and Kane heading south-southeast, that force is pushing almost directly across his beam. It deflects anything approaching from the sides. But the force is a vector it acts in one specific direction, not all directions at once. Approach bow on, along the ship's own axis of travel, and you are moving parallel to the direction the field is pushing. The lateral deflection drops to near zero, a corridor, running directly to the bow.
A blind spot.
Not without starting his engine. And the moment he does that, every sonar station in the Atlantic finds him. He built his entire strategy around silence. The rotors are his silence. Stopping them ends the mission, his mission.
You are telling me the ship's own physics provides the approach corridor.
I am telling you the ship cannot be invisible to its own wind.
Transport is arranged. You have until the weather window closes roughly 14 hours. After that, Kane reaches the transfer coordinates and we lose him.
High-speed hydrofoil is standing by at Horta Harbour, File Island. Base equipment is pre-staged at the coastal station on Pico. I would recommend not base jumping onto a moving arms ship in the dark, but I understand that recommendation will be decorative.
Entirely.
Wait, I'm coming. I have a new atmospheric sensor suite. It can resolve pressure and wind shear variance out to roughly 800 meters under stable atmospheric conditions. It'll map the wind shadow in real time.
Does it need charging?
40%.
Bring a backup. 13 hours later. Azores approach Pico Island, northwestern coast.
I've got variance. Anemometric readings are showing a definite anomaly bearing 160, range approximately 4 kilometers. Something out there is disrupting the ambient wind pattern.
Heading?
South-southeast. Moving at 7, maybe 8 knots. That's wind-driven. That's him.
Conduit. Confirm pressure differential axis relative to bearing 160. Rotor spacing consistent with 4-cylinder Flettner array.
Bearing 160. Pressure axis minimum resistance corridor, running 160 to 340. Bow to stern orientation. Minimum turbulence axis approximately 4 to 6 meters wide near the bow, widening rapidly with distance. Confidence, high.
That's the approach lane? 4 meters wide on open ocean at night?
At this range, it widens. At 300 meters, it narrows. At the hull, it is the only safe corridor.
And at the cliff?
I'll be below the cliff by then.
Vane. Kane's security detail has swept the deck twice in the last 8 minutes. 4 personnel aft, 2 at the cargo hold. He knows someone found him the moment your hydrofoil came within radar range. He'll have had a return. He is not relaxed.
I'm holding the lane. I'm Vane. One of his crew just lit a searchlight. He's scanning the water surface. If I break left or right to avoid it, I lose the corridor.
Stay in the lane, Cooper. In 45-knot gusts with heavy spray and aerosol scatter, that searchlight's effective visual range drops below 500 meters. You are invisible to it. Not because of the field, because of the weather he chose for cover.
That's not... Is that actually physics, or are you just saying that?
Hold the lane. Conduit. Confirm the vessel's bow axis is tracking 160, placing the pressure corridor precisely below my current position.
Confirmed. Vessel bow axis 161, variance within corridor tolerance. Forward edge of minimum resistance lane passes your position in approximately 4 seconds.
Good.
Oh, he jumped. He actually jumped. Sterling Vane just jumped off a cliff in the dark.
Yes, he does that. Vane drops, the cliff falls away, the Atlantic wind pushing him west across the channel. and the deck of Kane's vessel slides beneath him along the same axis the bow corridor defines. He is not being guided. He is simply in the right place, falling through the one zone where the ship's own field has nothing to say about his arrival. The ship below fills his vision, deck lights, spinning cylinder housings. Two guards at the stern, both looking outboard at the water at Cooper's hydrofoil, away from the axis.
On deck.
On deck. He's on deck. Right, good. That's completely normal. Two guards turn, too late. Two precise, unhurried applications of what would have been called nerve point compression in a 1920s manual. Both guards fold.
Cargo hold access.
30 seconds.
Whoever you are, I have 4 rotors spinning at full rated speed, and the only approach to this deck, not dominated by rotor wake turbulence, is an axis, approximately 4 meters wide, running directly to my bow. No one knows about that corridor. I designed this system myself.
You designed it very well.
The rotors are still spinning. You are standing inside my ship's own pressure lane, which means you flew it.
I wrote it. There is a distinction.
The blind spot in my own field. I never thought anyone would find it.
You created it. Physics simply made it available. I try not to argue with physics, Admiral. It has a better record than most admirals.
I want to register for the official record that my sensor suite successfully tracked the wind shadow and held the approach corridor for 11 minutes under active searchlight.
Your sensor suite then died, and you navigated the final approach by compass bearing, a paper chart, and what you described in your voice memo as vibes. I have the memo, Cooper. I always have the memo.
She always has the memo.
She always has the memo.
Cargo is secured and tagged. Interpol liaison confirms the buyer chain is being rolled up from the Canary's end. Well done, 26.
The Admiral's engineering was actually rather elegant. A spinning cylinder to generate propulsion in, inadvertently, protection. He almost had it right.
Almost is sufficient for our purposes. Report to London. There is something in the Baltic I would like your thoughts on.
Of course there is.
Can we at least get breakfast before the Baltic?
The Dean said, report. He didn't say starve. I'll have something on the desk. I have been at this desk since midnight, and I intend to go home having fed at least one of you. Cooper, charge your equipment.
It's charging.
On the boat. Before London. Not on the plane, not in the car, not during whatever catastrophe the Baltic turns out to be.
A Flettner rotor ship in the Azores. The Baltic will want something altogether different.
Like what?
Ask me when we get there. Physics will have prepared something. The Magnus Effect. When a cylinder spins in a moving airstream, the rotation doesn't simply speed up the air on one side. What it actually does is shift the stagnation points and alter the boundary layer. The thin envelope of air clinging to the surface. On the side where the surface rotates with the flow, that layer stays attached longer, bends around further, before separating. On the opposite side, it separates early and violently. The result is that the airflow around the entire cylinder becomes asymmetric. The separated wake shifts toward the side where separation came early, deflecting the whole flow pattern sideways. By Newton's third law, if the cylinder deflects the air one way, the air pushes the cylinder the other way. That is the force. That is what bends every banana kick in football, every topspin winner in tennis, every curveball that breaks toward the dirt. Flettner rotors apply this on an industrial scale. Spin a 20-meter cylinder at up to 200 revolutions per minute in a 30-knot Atlantic wind, and the asymmetric wake deflection can generate hundreds of kilonewtons of lateral thrust in strong wind more. 4 ca efficiently per unit weight than a conventional sail. Ships have used this for over a century. It is quiet, clean, and in the right wind, the main engine becomes an afterthought. The Admiral's mistake was a sound one. The rotor wake really does wreck ballistic predictions. Anything moving toward his hull from the beam passes through the turbulent wash. The rotors produce crosswind gradients, shift, Trajectories bend off their expected line, and anything aimed at the hull goes wide. His error was simpler than his engineering. The Magnus force is always perpendicular to both the velocity of the airflow and the axis of the rotor's spin. Tonight, with the wind from the west and Kane heading south-southeast, that force pushed almost directly across his beam. Anything approaching from the sides curved away. But approach Bowen along the ship's own line of travel, and you are moving parallel to the direction the force is pushing. The deflection drops to near zero. A corridor, running directly to the bow. The field had always been pointing away from it. He built the shield. He could not build a shield from a directional force without leaving a direction unshielded. That was always going to be true. Physics does not permit exceptions to vectors. He glances at the rotors, almost fond. Elegant systems have elegant vulnerabilities. That has always been true. It will always be true. You cannot outsmart a field by making it stronger. You can only ever find the axis. It forgot.